Back in 1917, with World War I tearing through Europe, a new kind of weapon was changing the battlefield: the Renault FT-17 tank. Sleek, functional, and forward-thinking, it wasn't just a machine, it was a symbol of modernity. And from that, Louis Cartier drew inspiration. But what he created wasn't a weapon, it was a design icon. A watch that would redefine elegance to become a permanent fixture in the world of luxury and style. That watch is the Cartier Tank. Visit Swiss Connection Watches for your next watch. Also, do consider subscribing, it helps a lot. Thank you. The Tank was born just as wristwatches were starting to replace pocket watches, and just before the Art Deco wave changed everything in design. The French jewelry house was founded in 1847, making it an influential name in the luxury space for almost 2 centuries. The Cartier Tank was first created in 1919, but its significance isn't just in how it's viewed today, but what it tells us about Cartier's formative years, a time when Cartier was starting to become known as a product innovator. Which makes sense as being one of the earliest innovators of the original men's wristwatch. And I say original because the mainstream trend was to solder lugs on pocket watches and sticking the earlier versions of NATO straps through them. When the Tank was first launched, it tossed aside the fussy, round pocket watch design of the past and gave the world a polarizing rectangular case combined with Roman numerals, a railroad minute track, and a signature blue cabochon crown. If you were to ask me, the mix of elegance and refinement with a direct connection to a military machine was very punk rock for a high-end watch brand. Among the earliest iterations, one stands out: the Tank Louis. This was Louis Cartier's own interpretation of the design, with slight refinements from the original, with softer brancard and more rounded lugs. It embodied the height of Parisian sophistication. It was, and still is, the gentleman's dress watch. But what's fascinating is that it never belonged to just men. This watch was a trailblazer. It was one of the first truly unisex timepieces. Pop culture icons like Frank Sinatra, Andy Warhol, and Yves Saint Laurent all wore the Cartier Tank Louis. Today, Cartier has the WGTA 0011, a modern take that stays incredibly faithful to the original Tank Louis. It comes in an 18-karat rose gold case measuring 33.7mm by 25.5mm with a slim height of just 6.6mm. It keeps the gear shade dial that was present in the first Tank Louis and the wonderfully warm color palette. It preserves all of the Tank's signature features like the cabochon, the Roman numerals, the heat-blued steel hands, and the smooth rounded brancard. Powering the watch is the manually wound in-house caliber, the 1917 MC, beating at a frequency of 3 Hz with 38 hours of power reserve. And it's a shame that the caliber is hidden away behind a closed case back because it is a beautiful square caliber, the likes of which we hardly see these days. Even though the Tank Louis enjoyed its popularity over the years, it too was not immune to the effects of course crisis of the 70s. Cartier responded with the launch of the Tank Must in 1977. It was a bold idea to make a tank more accessible without diluting its style or status. The message here was clear: you don't need to spend a fortune to wear an icon. The modern day Tank Must continues the spirit of the Must when it launched. It comes in a stainless steel case measuring, you guessed it, exactly the same as the modern Tank Louis. But there are some obvious differences. The dial is now matte white instead of the warmer Kyoshe dial of the Tank Louis. But it still retains all of the defining characteristics of the Tank: the blue cabochon crown, the Roman numerals, the iconic minute track, and the blued steel hands. But instead of a manual wind caliber, here you have Cartier's high autonomy quartz movement, with an impressive battery life of 6 years, making it a perfect everyday watch. What truly cemented the Tank as a style icon was its resistance to trends. From the beginning, the Tank was unique. It didn't follow trends, it made trends evolve around it. So it's not surprising that the overall design remains essentially unchanged. Even in the modern world, the Tank sits well on a wrist regardless of whether you're in a suit or a t-shirt. Very few objects nowadays can claim to be truly timeless, and the Tank is one of them. Whether you're drawn to the elegant details of the Tank Louis or the timeless simplicity of the Tank Must, the rectangular silhouette is instantly recognizable. While the Tank Must can work better as a dressy everyday watch, with nowadays guys pairing these with deluxe straps and t-shirts, The Tank Louis sits a level above in the dressy department. The materials, the textures, the overall format just gives off a bit more dressy and luxurious feel to it. What do you think of these two tanks, and which Cartier speaks to you more? Drop a comment down below and let us know. Do check out Swiss Connection Watches for a curated selection of both new and pre-owned watches. Definitely drop by if you're in town, and I'll see you in the next one.